Good evening, guys, and welcome to Moments of the Magic Weekly Recap, episode 12.
Episode 12?
12.
We're at a dozen.
Yeah.
I think that's an accomplishment doing the same thing 12 weeks in a row. Hey, Jimmy.
12 weeks in a row.
I'm Marissa.
I'm just going to share this out real quick.
I know, 12 weeks in a row we've been doing this.
That's crazy.
I haven't gotten sick of you yet.
Yeah. About that.
12 weeks and 20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
Can you believe she's put up with me for 20 years?
20 years. I got you, girl. We got a rosé this evening.
A rosé. Is that like a wee rosé?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's actually another one of my favorites from the Josh sellers. I don't know if Josh is on yet. I haven't seen his name pop up.
Josh.
Josh.
So
the rosé from the Josh sellers, but that's a decent way to kick us off today.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about wine. So this will be my last week for how many weeks? How many countries are there?
13?
13.
12, 13? 12.
Oh my god, we have to double the tenure of the show to get through all of the lands.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, but not all of them have good wine, so we'll see.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a wine drinker.
So we're going to start hey Judy, we're going to start
hey everybody.
Next week with a Wine of the World segment, Wines in the World segment from Epcot, my favorite place to drink wine, and as I know many of you too, and there are many countries where I really enjoy the wine, and we kind of realize, hey, you're drinking wine anyway, why not talk about the wine in Disney? So we're going to start
Since
that
you're
next
a connoisseur of wine.
I wouldn't really call me a connoisseur. I just like to drink it. A lot of people know the history of different wines and the flavor palettes of many of the different wines. I just really like to drink it. So we're just going to talk about some of my favorite wines around Epcot starting next week, with the disclosure that I only drink whites and rosés. I don't do any reds. So for you red drinkers out there, do some research on the wines of the world.
Drink your own.
Drink your own. Do some research
Buyer
on
beware.
red wines around the world and drink with me and enjoy your red wine while I enjoy my white and my rosés. And so you can tell me about them and what you know about them.
Yeah. And I will not talk about wines because I know nothing about them.
You enjoy your cocktails around the world.
I enjoy my cocktails, like Red Stag Lemonade.
Particularly the Red Stag Lemonade in the American Pavilion. That one seems to be your favorite. But
yes.
You do once in a while enjoy the Maracaritas.
Mm-hmm. And
that's really your two.
Yeah, that's really my two. I'm not a tequila guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Something about tequila just. Baby's crying.
Pardon me. Talk amongst yourselves.
We might have a little issue with the baby. She was pretty tired when we put her to bed, so she might have an issue right now. So, yeah. Anyways, so how's everybody doing today? What's going on for your weekend? Anything exciting happened this weekend? Tell you, I built some Legos. I'm gonna be putting out a video tomorrow of what I built. It was a lot of fun. Took a couple hours, but yeah, it was fun. So, what did you guys do? Anything interesting this weekend? Are you guys enjoying your quarantine? Yeah, we had that rain. There's nothing you could do outside. I felt bad because Victoria wants to go out so bad and enjoy running around, but we just haven't been able to do it. For with the 30 days that 30 plus days that I've been in quarantine, we've only been out twice. And it's just because it's been too cold or too wet. Nothing that we could really do. But it is what it is, and I think that we'll have better weather soon. Hey, Josh. Yeah, we got out yesterday, did a little bit of a walk. That was one of the 2 days that we got out. Victoria just is ready to run. No, we haven't been able to go out for walks. It's just too cold. And what happened?
Overtired. We're overtired.
No.
We are overtired. There he is. We're just talking about you. Yeah. She is overtired, and I think she could not find her lovey. So I think lovey got cut up underneath her. Yes, she did enough with the rain. It's swamped in our backyard.
That we had a decent weekend, but that we really haven't been able to go out much.
No, we went out, yesterday for a quick walk around the block, but that was about it. Maintaining our social distance, of course.
Yep, social distance. So.
Yeah, not a lot of our neighbors were out, which was surprising because it was 60 and sunny, but probably a good thing.
But the backyard is just flooded.
Not much to do with it.
I can't get it to dry out. I'm gonna have to cut the grass.
It's supposed to rain every day of this week, so there will not be any grass.
Yeah, I hate this time of year. So
did we switch topics, or were we still talking about the booze in Epcot?
No, yeah, we switched to what we're doing this weekend. So we can go back to the booze at Epcot if you want to go back to the booze at Epcot.
No, we're going to start talking about that more next week.
Okay.
But I did want to say, though, the one thing that you didn't mention that you like, not that we're not talking about the booze, but now we are talking about booze, is the limoncello in Italy. You enjoy that.
Oh, yeah, I take a nice shot of limoncello.
Not the slushy. He doesn't like the limoncello slushy that everybody raves over. He just likes the shot of limoncello from inside the wine
I sip
shop.
the shot. I don't know.
He does sip the shot.
It's a sipping shot. I can't take the whole thing. And what is that one that you made me drink the one time? Oh, it was horrible. That licorice thing.
Oh,
You're like,
help me out here, guys. The Greek liquor.
she goes, here, try this. You're gonna love it. I'm like, okay. Oh.
Yeah, you're supposed to drink that and go, bah. Like, what's the name of that liquor? Help me out, guys.
That was worse than Beverly.
Uzo, is that it?
I think so. I think that's what it is. Worse than Beverly. And don't get me wrong. I don't mind Beverly, but
your reaction was hilarious. Though.
It was horrible.
Yeah, he did not like that.
No, she owed me.
That must have been at a event because I don't think they always have that.
No, I don't know.
I have no idea. Anyway, so starting next week, Wines of the World, guys, drink them with me. We'll see what I can find in the store at curbside pickup this week for the Wines of Epcot. I was going to write an article about it, but let's face it.
Hey, look, it's Rachel.
I just don't have time. Look, it is Rachel. Hey, Rachel. Look at that. Our friends are getting more and more bored. They're actually hopping on to watch us talk about nothing.
So anyways, Disney. What's going on at Disney? Pretty much
not a lot this week.
Not a lot?
The only news that really came out that I saw was centered around DVC points. And if any of you are DVC members, I know some folks were curious about what was going to happen with their points because they were expiring and things like that. So from what I've learned this week, and we are not DVC, so I'm going to completely blunder this. Cheers, Rachel. We got some more. So I'm going to completely blunder this because we're not DVC, and to be honest, there's a lot about it that I still don't understand. But for those that had booked 2019 vacations with 2018 points, those points will be extended out 6 months. So you'll still be able to use those points. They're extended out 6 months. After the 6 months is expired, if you're still unable to use the points due to the parks not being open or restrictions when they do open, they will reevaluate at that time. 2019 points. So those that have booked 2020 vacations using 2019 points, those are being extended out, I believe, a year. But those that have DVC or maybe don't have DVC but just rent DVC points for the opportunity to stay at some of the deluxe resorts, book early, because that's going to run out. They're going to resell them. It's going to be booked out pretty quick. So just make sure you're paying attention to that so that you don't miss what you've already paid for. And, from one of the reasons why we don't have it is because of the cost of it, and we've figured out ways to go more inexpensive than it would be with DVC. Get what you pay for, right? Yeah. So just make sure that you're paying attention, stay in contact with Disney, make sure you're keeping in touch with your travel reps or customer service to ensure that you are getting the most bang for your buck there.
Yeah. Other than that, they have that, Disney's on that team to restart Florida.
Yeah, the president of Disney, Josh, not Shrek, the other one, has joined a board of directors that is in a planning group of how to restart Florida, reboot Florida, if you will, not just for the Walt Disney resorts, but, all of the businesses across the state. And of course, he's putting in his input there. And according to the governor, Disney's actually ahead of the curve. And I think that's because some of the provisions that they were putting into place before having to close with the hand washing stations and sanitizing stations and things like that you've seen around the parks directly before closing, I would imagine that those are still there, which kind of leads us into a lot of what we've been thinking about and talking about this week is how things might change and what the new normal might look like when Disney does reopen. If you saw Joe's video this week, we obviously don't know when that's going to be.
Did you guys like my video? Anybody? Did anybody like my video?
Somebody disliked it on YouTube, and that was, really
That was a shock. I was like, are you kidding me?
He was very upset that somebody on social media hit the dislike button on the keyboard. That was very upsetting.
I should be used to that. Not too many people like me.
Well, that's not true, but some people are keyboard warriors and just say some unkind things on social media. But in general, he got one dislike and it was a blow to the ego.
Yeah, I was like, so, but I want to thank all of you guys for watching it. That video, I could not believe how many people actually watched that video.
I was in the room while he was filming it. And you gotta remember, I have been with this man for 20 years, so a lot of what he says just isn't that funny anymore. And there were maybe just some eye roll moments for me in the moment, but I called it his Muppet moment. It was his Muppet moment because
I'm a Muppet of a man.
He is a very manly Muppet. So it was like his professor moment from the Muppets. He went absolutely crazy writing out these cards, which then turned into coloring boards for our toddler after. And then I think
whatever baby wants.
Some of them we still have, but some of them I believe made their way into the recycle bin.
So, really, thank you guys for watching a couple of my videos. I'm going to try to put out a couple more. Just because I have to do something while I'm quarantined, and it's pouring out, and when Victoria takes a nap.
Matt Schultz is on. He made lasagna tonight and he didn't invite us.
What was did his wife cut his hair? I thought they were...
No, they didn't get 100 likes yet. I think I was the 50th.
But other than that, there's a lot of speculation going on when Disney is going to open.
What that's going to look like, what the provisions are going to be and things like that, or will they just flip the switch and everything goes back to the way it was, and that just
there's not going to be it's not going to go back to the way that it was. That's for sure. Nothing is going to go back to the way that it was.
No. Of course that comes with being a father. Those dad jokes are strong. Yeah, girl. Yeah, they are.
You just wait till the next one.
Dad jokes, dad bod.
I've heard. Hey, my dad bod is in prime form.
Prime form. Mom does a shape. So, it cannot go back to the way it was before. No. And some of the things we were thinking about there is the buses, right? So we've all been in the situation at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day where they just hoard people onto these buses like herds of cattle to try to transport as many people as possible. And how is that going to look different upon reopening? Truth be told, we don't know. We don't have any of the answers. It's just some of the things that we're thinking about. And another one we didn't talk about today, but crossed my mind earlier, was the transport to Tom Sawyer Island. Mm-hmm. The way that the rafts are usually pretty jam-packed and does not at all conducive with social distancing.
No, social distancing is not happening on Tom Sawyer's raft at all.
No.
In fact, it's invading my personal space.
Yeah, I mean, the monorails, same thing. Yeah. The way that, so it basically comes in the form of Disney transportation. And how can that look different going forward in this new world that we're living? So it's just a very interesting thing. And of course, you see a lot of comments out there. And he almost broke my wine glass. I would have been very sad. It's a brand new wine glass because I just broke my other one. I am the queen at breaking glasses.
Yes.
But
ask all of our friends.
Ask all of our friends. I'm not allowed to drink out of glass at parties. That's some of the plastic. But
I mean, the other thing is, they're talking about temperature screening and all those, a lot of different types of things, and
that got a lot of attention today. The temperature screening. People are not happy about the idea of having their temperature taken.
And you know what? I mean, what I'm thinking is, what they're gonna probably upgrade the magic bands to something to incorporate being something similar to like an iWatch or something. Your iWatch tracks your
can track a lot of your vitals. Yeah, and it doesn't track your temperature, but it can track a lot of your vitals.
Yeah. So I mean, it's technology is out there. So
the finger scanner too.
Yeah. I
think they're gonna have to probably do away with that.
They're definitely gonna get away with that. But it's all about the magic band and tracking you on the magic band.
Mm-hmm. And without the finger scanner, how are they going to eliminate some of the fraud that was happening before the finger scanner was in place? There's a reason that they added that. Mm-hmm. So, what does that look like long term?
It's all a guessing game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Josh can feel free to, ask us, some questions. Say, hey, shoot some stuff by me. We would be more than happy.
I'm sure we'd have some ideas. I'm sure he cares about our opinion. But just overall, how can we still continue to enjoy the parks, the parades, the fireworks in the same way, but do it in a way that's maybe a little bit safer? And of course, that comes with not only social distancing, but hygiene and just maybe some basic health tracking, because there's no way to completely eliminate social distancing in certain situations that just occur naturally in the parks from just either waiting in line or you can have people standing 6 feet on the line. So would they have virtual queues for every single ride?
That's going to be a big thing for probably like we were talking about when we came back from our trip. And we said the virtual queue is going to be the future. That they're going to have virtual queues for a lot of rides. A lot of the big ticket rides are probably going to have virtual queues.
Right, Judy. I envision wearing masks in a lot of the crowds too, but what do you do with the kids? So Victoria got her first mask this week. My sister-in-law was gracious enough to make us Mickey Mouse masks as a family, and I'm not gonna go downstairs and get it next week. I'll show it to you, but cast members are gonna have a hard time too. And are you gonna have the princesses wearing masks?
Yeah, right now, they might not even be out for meet and greets right away.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know what the meet and greets are going to look like right away. It's all a guessing game. I mean,
we obviously don't know anything more than you do, and we're not the type of content creators, if you will, that would put rumors out there.
All that we're doing is speculating, telling what we feel is a best option, but
what is the best option?
It's above our pay grade.
It's above our pay grade. Yeah, we don't have a pay grade.
That's why it's above it.
Our pay grade is 0.
0.
If the princesses have ignored that iPhone call, they'll probably cover their faces too. Okay, hey, pot calling the kettle, because we sent you a text message like 3 days ago that you still haven't answered.
Yeah.
And I invited you to a Zoom call that you didn't answer to. So.
I remember Cinderella also. Cinderella was Brent Dodge and Cinderella. Remember that? Cinderella was... He had a good interaction with Cinderella the one time.
I thought you were talking about Brent Dodge dressing as Cinderella being Cinderella.
No, he had a really good
I don't even know what's happening
with Cinderella. Yep. So,
you guys are gonna have to remind me of that another time, but literally,
he knows what I'm talking about.
I probably had too much wine during that conversation.
Anyways,
not that unusual in the parks, but
no, but queues for any of the big rides like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is always packed. Space Mountain. What do you say?
Pictures are it didn't happen. So
on his next video.
Oh my god. So forget about Joe's videos for a second, guys. Has anybody been watching Brent's from Screen to Theme? We've been sharing them as much as we can.
I'll link it right up here.
Oh my gravy. These two.
Hey, look.
These two, I swear.
Bobby Lynn.
Oh my god, Bobby.
It's because I put it on your...
I have not seen Bobby. It's gotta be before or maybe right when I was pregnant. It's gotta be 2 years. So good to see you, girl. I hope you're having a glass of wine with me tonight.
Oh.
Ooh.
There we go. We're back.
We're back.
I don't know why our internet goes like that, but I don't know if you guys had a low internet connection, but our internet's all over the place.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I mean...
So a lot of speculation is out there. A lot of people already getting upset about some of the, I hate to use the word fake news, but I'll just use it, fake news that is out there. And just remember, until Disney... Have we talked about Bob stepping down? Bob stepped down and then back up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a shock when he stepped down. Everybody was...
Yeah, they kind of had the succession plan in place and everything was moving forward.
And then once this coronavirus popped up...
And he's on the task force in Florida as well, I believe.
Is he? I'm not 100% sure.
But yeah, he stepped back up to...
Yeah, he had to take the reins because... The stock market was just Disney stock was just dropping. I mean, it was a point where I was like, oh my god, we have to get into this.
And I'm like, yeah, no, because I mean,
like, we gotta buy.
Yeah, Marissa can school you as well as I can there about the tax consequence to buying stocks.
But it's gonna go back up.
Without putting a bulk of money into it, and we weren't about to use a broker and pay brokerage fees on Disney stock for 10 shares. That would make us no money, but a lot of tax consequences in our golden years. So, yeah, so you and her can have a conversation about that too, so that she knows I'm not just, I'm not just blowing smoke, because she knows that stuff as well as I do. Probably better. So... Yeah, so that was on our mind this week, is just really...
She says, yup.
Yup. So we're talking a lot about
Is that what you guys are talking about on your messenger?
No, we can't talk about that on Messenger because we're not licensed to talk about that on Messenger, and those things are monitored on our jabbers.
No, not jabber.
Oh, well, guys, excuse the side conversations. But oh my gosh, I can imagine, Judy. Yeah, everybody is hurting in that arena, and
we're afraid to look at our 401k.
Yeah, we just don't look at it. I actually did open it the other day. I was joking around with somebody that I worked with. I'm like, I'm not even gonna open this, but I did, and of course it's ugly. But the good news is you know, people mine and Joe's age and your son's, Judy's, we have a little bit of ways to retire. Hey. We have ways to retirement, so they have plenty of time to rebound. Fortunately or unfortunately about the retirement being far away.
Yeah. So guys have any questions for us at all, or?
Yeah, what's going on with you guys this week?
Yeah. Any Disney question? Yeah, ask the expert. Right there.
Oh, hell to the no. I did have an idea about that to run by Brent later, though.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Brent if he answers his phone call.
If he ever answers my calls when he's not driving through the drive-thrus. I know. Everybody's quiet today.
Yeah, and they are.
Everybody was quiet on social media today. When are the parks the emptiest? That's a great question. It used to
right
be...
now.
So it used to be like in between festivals you would find some quiet times, and
so probably like January, going from the Festival of the Arts into Flower and Garden.
Was typically a quiet time. That's the time of the year that we hit up this year. Oh Lord, Josh. So that's the time we hit up this year was in January, when it's typically the quietest coming off of holidays. However, Orlando, and we didn't know this going in, but Orlando won the bid for the Pro Bowl. So there were a lot of celebrities in the park, and it was much busier than we had anticipated in January. And they really have found a way over the years to close the gap on any down season. Back in the day, there used to be like a value season, regular season, and then a peak season, and you would pay different prices for each of those. And now it's just crowded pretty much all the time, regardless.
There used to be a time when the kids would go back to school in September, and there was a week or to a week and a half where it was like the deadest week. I remember seeing like Brent and a couple other people shooting pictures out saying, you know, these parks are empty.
Right.
Now it's not like that.
Yeah, it was typically right after the new year.
It's because they brought out
well, everything's a festival. Yeah.
And then also they extended out the Not So Scary Halloween party. So everybody wants to jump on board all these festivals and all these parties. And even though they complain about the pricing,
and they complain about the crowds. And two, they've added a lot of the free dining packages onto those festivals, which I know is a big point of contention for annual pass holders that can't get in on that, on the free dining promotions, just because of the way the promotions run. But they've run those alongside a lot of the festivals, so people will get the free dining program, and then they'll go to the festivals and use those for the snacks and things like that. So good for them, kudos to them for being able to, you know, reduce their costs, but it does increase the crowds. And even when they're not running free dining here in the US, they often run it for the UK. And, you know, and that's of course to offset their cost of travel, and folks from the UK tend to come and stay a good long time at the resorts and spend a lot of good money there. So they give them free dining as part of the package, which increases the crowd levels just overall.
So a short answer to your question is there really is no...
Yeah, there is,
no,
but we'll see
time.
now. We'll see now what they do and how they open. We have I think we said last week on what they're going to do in Shanghai, because it is believed, based on the reports coming from that area of the world, that Shanghai will probably reopen first. They were the first to close, and they'll probably be the first to reopen.
Yeah.
When are we taking Victoria on a Disney cruise? Oh, God.
That'd probably be a no.
That's probably a hard no for me.
Because she's already getting anxiety right now.
Just
looking at the word cruise.
Just thinking about it. I look at pictures of the ships often and think about how I would love to be able to do a lot of the activities on the cruise, and especially see Castaway Cay. However, I have an irrational fear of water for absolutely no reason. Nothing has ever happened to me on a boat. I've never come close to drowning, but I have an irrational fear of being in a body of water where there are creatures in there that think I'm food. So it's just a crazy neurotic thing that I have. Not, too unusual for those that really know me, know I'm a little crazy neurotic. But I can't even think about going on a cruise. Should you worry about the August trip of Disney being canceled? So that's a really good question too. And the answer is we really don't know. There's a lot of folks that have rebooked from their March vacations to August, and Disney did take those bookings. They're taking their dining reservations. They're still doing fast passes for August. So I would take that as a positive sign for your up and coming trip. However, I wouldn't necessarily cancel it because if, God forbid, this should extend out that far, Disney has been very generous with those needing to rebook those vacations. But if you preemptively cancel that now, you may not get that same benefit. And from what I understand, the airlines have been really, really generous as well.
So make your reservations, make your fast passes if you can, and be ready. But you just have to wait to see what Disney does. It's do we think August? I mean, August it's still pretty far away.
Yeah.
It's a few months away. So, I would say keep your chin up.
Yeah.
Keep your chin up, pup.
Keep your chin up, pups. And I mean, we certainly hope so. Not only for everybody that has booked their vacation, but for the cast members as well that are dying to get back to work.
Yep.
Because the unemployment situation down there has not been very good. Favorite Disney World restaurant? So,
which part?
We like food. So anything that's not too fancy, we would say, Johnny. We're pretty simple palate folks, so I would say if we went with the 4 parks, Joe and I probably differ a little bit. But for me, I love the Crystal Palace and the Magic Kingdom and Liberty Tree Tavern. Anything that's really family focused. The Skipper Canteen, we liked. But some people have said that's a little bit too fancy for them, but I don't think so. It's like steak and potato. Chocolate cake there was to die for. But anything that's, of simple palate, nothing too fancy, and nothing that I'm going to have to go back to the resort and dress up for.
But yeah, Skipper Cantina in the Magic Kingdom is one.
Really good.
Yeah, we like that one. Epcot, Garden Grill.
Garden Grill, for sure.
That's probably our number one. Number 2 would also be in the same building. That's Sunshine Seasons.
Yeah, so for the quick service option, the Mongolian beef there is delicious.
Yeah.
And that's actually something else that people are talking about in this situation is what's going to happen with the buffets. And I read an interesting article about that today about how they may have to convert some of the buffet situations to either more of a family style or like a regular table service restaurant. And I guess we'll just keep our eye on that as well. Mm-hmm. But it makes a lot of sense if you think about it.
Yep.
Never really thought about it before. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, you don't see too many people doing something. It's just more the tongs that people use. But
Disney puts virtual queues in place for reopening. Will they ever go away from it or just stick around permanent? That's a really good question too. I loved the virtual queue.
Yeah,
for Rise of the Resistance.
And don't think of the virtual queue as being you have to be there like an hour ahead of time for it. They're going to let you do your 3 fast passes.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have you do virtual queues after that.
And just like if you think about it, when there's a new ride and there's regular fast passes for it, people are going to book that out 3 months out. Oh my God, Marissa, we skipped yours. What was hers? Go back and find hers. While I'm talking, go back and find hers. So it would calm down after a while. Like, people aren't going to get up at 4 a.m. and get a virtual queue line for like Winnie the Pooh or Peter Pan. I don't believe that they would. But you never know. Stay tuned on that. How much you'd be willing to pay if they were auctioning off an entrance
to go into the
parks? How much is in my bank account? So,
well, normally we spend a good amount of money anyways.
A good amount of, and it's so funny because, like, when we're here in the real world in Buffalo, I am probably the tightest person when it comes to cash. I am so cheap that it's ridiculous. The people at work all the time are like, let's order out here, let's order out there. And I'm like, no, I'm good with my peanut butter and jelly or my rice cakes and jelly or peanut butter or whatever, because we just like to do what we like to do. We don't have a fancy house. I don't wear fancy jewelry. Most of our clothes, like, I'm in yoga pants and sweatshirts all day long, and that's our thing. But when we go to Disney, it's like...
Yeah.
I'll just spend. And they'll be like, we're going out to dinner, and it's on me. But, yeah. Buffalo, yuck. Yeah, preach. You said you were moving back, and then you bought a house, so I don't even want to hear it, sir.
How do you social distance?
In a Disney bus, yeah, from the resort to the parks. That we were talking about that actually earlier today, and we were talking about our next trip and when that's going to be. And unfortunately, due to the circumstances, we don't believe we're going to be back in 2020. That kills me to say, because I literally at the beginning of the year said we're going to go 4 times, and this is when we're going to go, and these are going to be the dates. I'm going to cry if I think about it. And but when we do go next year, I said this might be the first time that we actually want to consider renting a car for that very reason. And then, Joe was like, whoa, hold the phone. Let's kind of just sit back and wait to see what they do. So I think Disney's transportation system is going to be the most challenging thing that they have to deal with.
They're going to have to look into their busing issue that they have right now. And they're going to have to improve on it. They're going to need to get more buses active.
They're just not going to be able to squish people in the way they've done in the past. And typically we'll hold back in the parks until much later in the evening, even after they close, where a lot of people are rushing to the bus lines and things like that. We don't do that just because I'm not going to stand on the bus with a child, and before that I wasn't going to stand while I was pregnant, and before that I just wasn't going to stand because I'm lazy. So in general, I'm a princess, I'm not going to stand. But what did we do to accomplish that was we would hold back and make sure we weren't getting in those crazy lines to where we were putting ourselves in that situation.
We would always stay later, when after the park closes.
Mm-hmm. And get up very, very early.
Yeah.
So we were one of the first without having to do that. So have we been to any other Disney parks other than Disney World? No. Only Florida. So the goal originally was for my 40th birthday this year, I wanted to go out to Anaheim and to see Disneyland. And of course, again, due to the circumstances, that plan has changed. And now we will kind of see what happens with that, because that's coming up in June. Year and a half, see you then. Yeah, I'll hold my breath. 1 bus per family. I'll sign up for that. I know, right? Disney Paris or Disney Tokyo? Paris for sure for me.
See, I'd like to see both. Probably, if I had to choose one, Paris. No
disrespect to Tokyo at all. I'm sure Disney Tokyo is absolutely fantastic, but there's other things in Paris I would like to see outside of Disney. So if we were going to make the trip overseas, it would be Disney Paris for me. I know, she's still up.
Is she waving, or what is she doing?
She is stretching, and I don't know, she's Oh, she might be doing the Elsa thing.
Yeah.
Can't even tell you how many times we have watched Frozen 2 in a crow. Yeah.
Yeah, you think, how many times have you watched it? Double it.
Yeah, but you get to stay home. Did Tori ride anything last time? Oh, yeah. She loves the ride.
Yeah, she rode the People Mover.
She loves the People Mover, Winnie
Dumbo.
the Pooh, Peter Pan, Dumbo.
She loves Dumbo.
She's been on Pirates, but she didn't go on Pirates last time. But she was on Pirates her first trip. We have a picture of it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She was on Frozen.
She was on Frozen and on Pirates.
And...
When she was 6 months old, she went on Pirates.
Oh. Let's see. But not too much.
What else did she go on? The Frozen sing-along we did with her.
Frozen sing-along.
Oh, the Alien Saucer.
Yeah,
right.
Alien Saucer Swirl.
She loved that, right?
Yeah.
She sat right in between us when we put the seatbelt on, and she goes, "Woo!"
It was awesome.
Best reaction ever.
I can't wait to get her on Barnstormer, though.
Yeah, she'll probably be tall enough next time we're there now
Yep.
to do the Barnstormer, but you can't scream in her ear. That's the only thing.
She'll be doing the screaming.
Least favorite ride for me is the Tower of Terror. In the 20 years that Joe and I have been going to Disney,
I would have thought that you would have said the teacups.
I won't go on the teacups because they make me sick. But least favorite ever is, I can't do spinning rides that just spin like that. But Tower of Terror is my least favorite ride. I'm absolutely, completely afraid of it. Oh my god, we love the Dumbo play area too.
Yeah, she had so much fun there.
She cried and cried and cried when we had to leave it.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite ride?
My least favorite ride? I gotta think about this one. Trying to think.
Who else has a question?
Yeah.
He'll be a while.
Yeah, I'll be a while. I'm thinking.
He loves them all.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm still thinking. Least favorite ride.
Least favorite ride. You stumped him. He is speechless.
Yeah.
Somebody marked this on the calendar. He is speechless.
I don't talk much.
From the first time? Oh,
Forever?
God. For the first time in forever.
Let's see. I'm still thinking.
Tell the mouse to open up the gates.
What did Marissa say?
She wants to know what our favorite memory was individually from the first time we went together. I was young. I was 19.
She was super young.
I was was I 20? I might have been 20 by then.
I don't even think I have like full memory of that because it was like that.
Yeah, we only went for 3 days and we did all of the parks, and he showed me the highlights from all of the parks. But I think my personal favorite memory was seeing a statue of Ariel, because growing up I loved watching The Little Mermaid, and just the way she was so free-spirited. And I made Joe take this picture of me that is sitting around somewhere because it was all filled.
It's in one. I saw it again when I was going through the boxes.
I was so young, wearing like this little half top that I would probably judge every girl now for wearing, but yeah, she is not falling asleep. So she'll fall asleep once we stop talking. But hey, Debbie.
Yeah.
But that is my favorite memory from the first time.
I don't have.
But if we're just talking about favorite memories from back then too,
my favorite memory overall is when we stayed late at Epcot and we got that special.
We got a special viewing of the Fountain of Nations.
We were one of the last people in there, and I was going to take along exposures of the Fountain of Nations.
We were waiting, and finally one of the custodial staff came along and had them play it for us.
Yeah.
So that was really nice.
Yeah.
But I think if we're going to talk about my favorite memory overall, probably one of my favorite memories for sure is when he proposed.
Yeah.
Because he tricked me. I knew he had the ring. Before we left to go to the Buffalo airport to get on the plane, I knew where he was hiding the ring. So I went to check if it was still there, and I'm like, son of a gun, he didn't bring it with him. And if he's not going to propose there, when am I getting this ring? And sure enough, he was on to me, and carried it a different way. Do you think the Magic Kingdom will have the Halloween party this year? I believe that they will host some Halloween parties this year. I think what the challenge is going to be really is the fireworks and the parade and how to social distance during the parade. Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. He tricked me.
Yes, I did.
But then again, we were still pretty young then. I mean, the first time we went, I think I was 20 by then, so you would have been 27, and you proposed to me when I was 23. So.
Yeah. And it was at night. And
in front of the castle.
In front of the castle, and I'm like, let's just sit in front of the castle and just watch it.
Oh, I wanted to go.
Yeah, she was like, let's go. I'm like, no, let's just sit in front of the castle for a little bit. Let's just let's just take it in. And she's like, no, I think I want to go. I'm done.
I'm tired. Yeah.
So I'm like, look.
It was for my own proposal. You know what? I wanted to go to the pool. I wanted to get to Coronado and go sit in the hot tub. Remember?
Yeah.
Which we ended up doing anyway. After the proposal. Sorry, guys. I just kicked this table back. I didn't mean that. So yeah, Mickey's not so scary. I can imagine that. I can't imagine them canceling the parties entirely. I just think it might be a little bit differently, but I would imagine there's still going to be lots and lots of candy. We did include Disney in our wedding. Mm-hmm. We had Mickey and Minnie on our cake, mm-hmm. and we had some Disney decorations. We had some favors that were associated with Disney.
We still have the bookmarks.
We still do have the bookmarks, the Cinderella bookmarks. Yep. And oh my god, I ordered so many of those things. I think I ordered 2 per person. How would we feel about guests wearing face masks when they reopen?
It's probably going to be a norm for well, if they're going to do anything like what New York is doing mandating, for phasing, right? Like different phases of opening, it's going to be something that we're going to see. You're going to see people with face masks on. And
again, I just don't know what they would do with the kids. So
yeah, the kids.
I know some states are doing under 10, I believe. Some states are doing 2 and under. My 2-year-old won't put a mask on. We have tried. So
yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know what they would do with the kids because A, you're not going to get them to social distance. When kids see other kids, they just want to play. It's their natural instinct. And then
they're always grabbing, like she's just grabbing at our mask. So
yeah, she doesn't like when we wear them.
Like
so she takes
when
them
the
off
kids see each other with the mask, they're going to be pulling at the masks. So, yeah, there's no way to have a 2-year-old to have a mask on.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know. Maria was wearing her mask pretty well in some photographs today. I don't know how long that lasted.
Are you just saying that our daughter was difficult?
Well, she is. The one that never wanted to be swaddled. All babies like to be swaddled. Yeah, not ours. The baby that doesn't like to be swaddled, doesn't like pacifiers, still doesn't like blankets, and will not wear a mask or ever wear a hat. So safety first.
Yes.
Maria does everything that she does. What about if you grab a snack? Right? So this is one thing that we're actually struggling with at work right now too, is because I'm still working outside the home, and my team likes to eat, and they eat all day long. I've never seen a group of people and they're all really young too. We're all really young and skinny, and I don't even want to talk about it, but
metabolism.
I have never seen a group of people eat in the way these people eat that I work with, and we have to wear masks at work right now, so trying to get them to wear the mask, but then they're just taking it off to grab a snack, taking it off to get a drink of their coffee or whatever, but they're not just like doing a lift and sip, they're like wearing it around their neck. So it's something that I know we struggle with just in my small little bubble. I can't even imagine in a situation that large. Joe actually did a pickup today at a store, like a curbside pickup. My favorite Disney animal sidekick is Joe, but the favorite curbside pickup, and people were walking out of the store ripping the masks off their face while they're all still near each other, and I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just human nature. Nobody wants to wear that. But no, my favorite Disney sidekick is probably Piglet.
Yeah?
I love Piglet.
You love Piglet?
I mean, I love my Pooh Bear, but I love Piglet. So cute and cuddly. What about you?
My favorite Disney sidekick, I would have to say, is probably Pluto.
She's stumping you a lot today.
Yeah,
I like it.
probably Pluto, even though he is kind of like his own.
Yeah, would you really consider him?
But he's Mickey's sidekick.
Yeah, he is Mickey's sidekick.
So,
Wishes are happily ever after. Wishes for me all day long.
Wishes, because it has a story. Happily Ever After is what I always say about Happily Ever After is that it's an extended celebrate the magic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's celebrate the magic with fireworks.
But he does love to photograph both of those.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The songs in them get me all the time, and I'm a mess by the end of the fireworks. But Wishes is definitely overall better than Happily Ever After.
To us.
Yes.
A lot of people would differ in that opinion. But we loved Wishes.
I mean, everybody loves to see the projections, and the problem that I have with the projections is that it's forcing everybody onto Main Street.
Which is what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
To wind down the day, so
they
everybody
want
leave.
people to get out of the park.
Now I don't know what they're gonna do.
They got to put projections on the back of the castle. That's just me speculating.
Right.
But
Pluto's dance. I know. I love Pluto.
I
love everything associated with Disney and dancing. If anyone's ever been to the dance parties, that's one of my new favorite things to do.
I'm still trying to think of my least favorite ride.
Oh my God, you didn't answer that?
No, I didn't answer that yet.
Backlot tour or great movie ride? Great movie
ride. Yep. I'd have to probably say Test Track.
Test Track is your least favorite ride.
Is probably my least favorite ride. Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's okay for me.
I get it. I get why that would be your least favorite ride.
Yeah, it's okay for me. It's not. I can take it or leave it. We've left it for like the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
and now it's not going to be back up till God knows how long. And I think somebody asked about construction, and I think we skipped by the conversation. Skipped by that, wondering if that was still going. Little bit, not what you would expect. So there is a little bit of construction still going on property, but I don't believe it's on any of the rides or anything like that.
Yeah.
Rebecca's watching.
Whoa.
I know. Hey, Becca.
Let's see.
Mark is here.
What?
I know. People are joining late to the party. So, if anybody's just watching, we went on this whole rant about wine and what's going to be happening with social distancing. Who is the least? The least attractive. They're all beautiful in their own way. So. Everybody holds a hint of beauty, even you, and you are not as attractive as any of them, but Jen is more beautiful than any belle at any ball. So there. And Ennis too. It's all about Jen. So now we're just answering your questions. Anybody have a question? Just throw it in the chat.
Any questions?
Everyone except for Josh, he's cut off.
Is he?
No. He gets much worse than this guy. I know. Oh, that's random. When you get a text from somebody that you haven't talked to in like
5 years.
No, she came to the baby shower.
Oh.
And she fell off the face of the earth, so that's random. People in quarantine reaching out. Touching me, touching you. Disney Plus or Netflix? Disney Plus. So we do have both.
Yes, we do have both. And I mean, there are some shows that I watch on Netflix. that are Disney. Like I've just finished watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because that's not on Disney Plus. But yeah, and also I had to grab a couple of the Marvel movies. Yeah, stop touching your face. I had to catch a couple of the Marvel movies off of Netflix that weren't on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So get both.
Our favorite meal in Disney, Mark. I think for me, my favorite meal. Experience or food? So first I'll start with the experience. My favorite experience for a meal is probably at the Garden Grill. I have so many really good memories. Oh, she's okay. So I have some really good memories of our interactions at the Garden Grill. Just fantastic over the years with the characters there, how they really take their time, and we typically go there with a special friend who always gets Mickey to sit down and have a pretty long conversation with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did we first watch on Disney Plus? Probably Moana.
Yeah, that's probably one of the first things that we watched. Let's see. I've covered all of the Marvel movies on there, but yeah, the first thing we watched was probably Moana.
Oh, that's cool. Apparently Disney Plus has a show coming out on Friday about showing their movie props that are stored. That's cool. So, Mark, you know our special friend very well. It's Brent Dodge that usually comes with us to the Garden Grill. We try to hit that at least once while we're there.
Yep.
With him.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think it is time for us to sign off because I'm not sure if it's our voices keeping her awake today or what is going on, but she is just not settling, so we probably need to go tend to her. But keep putting the questions on the chat. We promise we will get to them next week. Stay tuned for our first week of Wines Around the World next week, as well as any additional questions that you have.
And if you're catching this on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Yeah, hopefully you guys love my videos also that I've been putting on there. I'm going to try to get Chrissy on board to make a couple of them with me, but
we will see about that, and we'll see everybody next week. Oh my God, John, why did you steal my ginger baby? Because you moved away from me. And that's my only answer to that. So, love you, girl, miss you.
All right, guys, we're going to head off, and you guys all have a magical night.
Have a magical night.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.